Hi friends, welcome to Android series. Today how to install Android in your system we will see here. Okay, like if you want to develop any Android applications you need a platform, right? If you are working on a Java you need like a JDK. If you want to working on the Python you need like a Python software. Like that if you want to develop Android applications you need Android software. Okay, how to download, let me go for the website. Just in the Google, go and type Android download. Just if you download it will navigate to the official website developer.android.com. Even we have a lot of documentation about the Android documentation also. If you are using the Mac or Windows, just based on your operating system, which operating system you are using, it will suggest to use. If it is a Mac, around 856 MB is there. Just to go and download and install the file. If you're using the Mac, it will be extension will be a .dmg file, and if you use a Windows it will be a .exe file. Once it is downloaded, just please go ahead and next it and install the software. Once software installation is completed, just open. Once if you open, how it will be look like, I will show you. Okay, if you open the Android Studio after installation, this is the UI screen it will be display. If you want to install, if you want to import, here you can see this is called start a new Android project, open an existing Android. If you have already existing project, you can go ahead and import. And if you want to download from the Git, then you can use get from the version control. Okay, just let me quickly start a new Android Studio project. Now it is asking which type of activity. You guys, till now you know what is an activity. In the previous section I explained. Just go ahead and click on empty activity. We have different types of activities here. Just go and click an empty activity, click next, and you can provide your application name. I'm giving as a first application. Just I'm giving as a first application as a project name. Package name I'm giving as a Java Express. Where you want to install it will ask your save location. Okay, just let me go here, and I want to give YouTube underscore Android. Just I'm giving here. Okay, here it will be create the new project. You can give as a first application. Okay, so we will see about the Kotlin, how to develop in YouTube. You can see so many things like based on the Java also. So we are developing our programs everything in Kotlin. Okay, and minimum SDK version, that means if you are installing the APK file, it should support Android 4.0. Suppose if you want to install an Android 3.0 version, it won't support. That is called the minimum. If you given as a 4, that means you can run your device 100% of devices. I think right now 3 is not there. Right now it is starting from the 4 is the minimum. So our application should support from the minimum SDK maximum. If you take the maximum SDK around 30, API 30 means more than 10 plus. Android right now is released at 10, and versions there minor versions they are releasing now. Okay, so you can go and click the finish. That's it, nothing much. To install the Android software, it will take based on your internet connection, it will take half an hour or 1 hour. Just patience is required while installing. It will be download the GB of files. Why? Because internally it will be install lot of tools. Okay, so this is the dashboard. If you open your Android Studio, now you can develop Android projects in the Eclipse also. Previously we used to develop in the Eclipse. So after that they introduced this Android Studio. So why? Because if you do in the Eclipse, the environment, lot of tools are missing, it will be very difficult. But if you see here, everything, each and every tool, it will be available in Android Studio. I hope you are following this one. So we will discuss today about the project structure, how the project structure will be there. So before learning any programming language, the platform you need to understand what are the things it will be there. Just some basic example. If you are developing an application, if you want to, in that application, suppose Amazon you take. If you take the Amazon, UI screens are displaying, where the UI screens will be there. Suppose if you click any button, some data is displaying. That particular data where you need to develop, and images are displaying in which folder you need to keep these images. So those all project structure where you need to keep, we will see in this section. Okay, project understanding. Here By default it will be display here Android. If it is a project it is looking, just go and change to Android. Okay, just if you see here app, by default app folder will be there, app and Gradle scripts. If you create a new project, this is the two folders will be there, app folder and Gradle scripts. First let me open the app. When I open the app, we have three types of files. I have manifest file, Java file and res file. Okay, I hope you guys are following. And if I click the manifest file, I have one file, android manifest.xml file I have. What is the use of this file? Means this file is used to contain application related activities will be there in Android. That means complete application information is available in android manifest.xml. Okay, without this XML file you can't run the application itself. I hope you are understanding, right? In this manifest file, what are the things it will be there? These things will explain in the further sessions, one by one. Like we'll try to understand the folder level. Okay, I hope without this file you can't run the application. You cannot develop also. If you develop also, you cannot install in the mobile. Okay, it will throw exception. Okay, so this is very important file. If you click here, some information is there. Okay, let it be. Now we have next, this is done. Now click on the Java. When I click the Java, we have three types of packages. You have one for first application, one for Android test and one for test. These two packages are for the unit testing. Okay, if you want to develop any code, if you click here, your files will be there. This is called main activity file. This is a Kotlin file. Why? Because your project is created in Kotlin. If you created in the Java file, if you created in the Kotlin files will be there. That means I explained, if you create a screen, for each screen two types of files, one for a Kotlin file, one for XML file, right? So if you want to background some action, if you want to write some logic, some business logic, if you want to write those type of code, you can write here. In the next sessions, when I say go and create one Kotlin file, means where you will create, just to come here Java folder, just create here. Okay, next, I hope this part is clear. Next, if you click here res folder, we have a 4 folders. We have drawable, layout, midmap and values. You are able to see 4 files. When you click the drawable, you are seeing one .xml file and some XML files we have. That means in this drawable folder, if you want to store any images like .png, Android suggested to use .png file should keep here. Whenever you are accessing the files, those files, everything should be there in the drawable folder. In this drawable folder, some XML files or images, and in any audio files, everything, whatever you want, you can keep in drawable folder. I hope you guys are following, right? If you take the Amazon, in the Amazon we have a lot of images you guys are able to see, right? Those images, everything they can keep in this folder. Next, there is a layout file. If you see the layout file, we have an activity underscore main.xml. All layout files will be there inside this folder. What is a layout file? I will explain in the further session. Okay, what it contains means, if you create any activity, for every activity one XML file, one .kt file or a .java file, all layouts, all screens. If you take a WhatsApp have a home screen, setting screen. If you click in keep on, some multiple screens will get. Thus all screen is nothing but a layout file. Those layout files, it will be visible here. Okay, this is the UI screen. It looks like in this way. Next, if you go for the midmap, here we have types of launchers again. That means here IC launcher on. In this midmap, what is the use means, if you install an application, there is an icon will be there, right? those icons, it will be some square, it will be some round, like that icons will be there in your Android application. If you install your own application, those icons related things you can use in the mid map. They are suggested to use. Just if you click here, suppose if you click, see, this is an image. What is HDPI, MDPI, we can see later these sessions. Just this is the use for the mid map. Okay, I will link these all things in the manifest file also. Okay, now you know the drawable folder and mid map and the layout. And we have a values folder. Values in the sense, if you develop any screen, you have some enter username, login, registration, those type of values, everything. Values we should not hard code in the XML file. We need to retrieve from strings.xml. If you see here, strings.xml, my application name, this is my first application, app name, all name related, we can keep inside this string.xml. For okay, you given as a name, for that name you want to apply a color, so we have one more, colors.xml. See, color, primary, dark, some different type, those colors you can see here also. If you see here, you can choose any type of color. And we have one more file, styles.xml. This is used for if you want to apply a themes for your Android application, those type of styles you can apply in this styles.xml. Okay, I hope you guys understood about the project structure, how it is looking. Manifest, Java is used for to place what are the Kotlin file or Java files, and this is a resource. Res is nothing but a resource folder. In this resource you can keep any internationalization concepts like I18N. If you want to display your application in Telugu or English or Hindi or Arabic, what are the things, there's whole related information you can keep in the resource. Okay, and drawable folder is used for to keep the images, layout files you can create here, mid map your application related icons you can use, color values. Okay, if you observe in the everywhere we are using lot of XML files. Basically what is an XML, we'll discuss this XML content also in the next section. Why? Because it's very important topic. Wherever you're using the Java, Python or Android, everywhere the XML is a common thing, right? Exactly what it is doing, why XML is that much important, we'll see in the next section. And these are all the visible folders. We have one more like a invisible file that is called r.java. Basically the file name will be look like a r.java. Okay, why this is, this r.java basically used, uh, we have a what we call layout file, you have, right? You have layout file. This layout file, if you suppose just I drag a button, just don't worry what it is, when I drag this button, when I click this option, I need to do some logic inside my activity. Activity is nothing but a screen. When I click that button should perform in this Java class, right? So these two interaction, what it will be there in r.java, it is like an abstraction. It is providing, it will create some integer attributes for your button. Whatever, if you are seeing in Android XML, for this text box it will create one integer value in r.java. If you create a button, it will create one variable for button. If you create any layout file, this layout file or and color and images, everything in this file, the data will be there. Like you can say button id or text attribute, for everything integer variable it will be created. How we are accessing that variable means, if you are accessing as a layout file, how we can do r dot layout dot your XML file. Suppose here if you assume that activity underscore main, right? Activity underscore main, if you type here, in this way you can give a communication to your Kotlin file. If you want to accessing a for every button or every text we have an id. It will be create one id. By using that id you can interact with from your backend. Okay, when I say id dot edit text, you can create. If you want to create an you want to access a image, you can say drawable that image name you can give. So this is a invisible file. Basically we should not use this file. That's why it is invisible in the project. When you create a project the file will be created but we cannot see. Why? Because Android Studio, the company, they are saying anyway this is not for the developer purpose, it is internal purpose. That's why it is invisible now. But if you do in the Eclipse you can see this r.java file, but in Android Studio you cannot see. This is the file. This is the concept of r.java. Throughout the whole sessions we will use in this way. r.layout.activity main edit text, we will keep on using this type of the file also. I hope you guys are understood the project. There is one more. There is a Gradle scripts. For every project two type of Gradle files will be created. One for root Gradle file, one for the project Gradle file. When I say root project, that means your which minimum version, SDK version, maximum SDK version, what is the version you are using, your application version. If you deploy application in the Play Store, we have versions like 1 2 3 or 1.0 point, those type of versions you can configure here. And dependencies, all dependencies will be there inside here also. This is very root level build.gradle file. And this is a project related file. You can add any third party libraries you want to add, those type of libraries you can add in this here also. I hope you guys are clear. When I explaining in Android architecture, if you want to develop a user applications, you need an SDK. I explained, right? SDK is a software development kit. That SDK directory will be there inside here. Android slash SDK. Okay, and so this is the way. If you want to create the simple Android project, and if you want to understand the project structure, these are the things you need to understand before working on the programming. Okay, so in the next session I will explain about what is an AVD manager. If you have a device you want to test, right, those some concepts we have, I will explain in the next session. Thank you guys.